Okay, so for our fourth and final contestant of MSP Shark Tank, from ImageNet Consulting in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, please welcome Vice President of Managed Services, Mr. Juan Fernandez.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good, good. Good to be here, everybody. Thank you for having me. So my name is Juan Fernandez. I have been in the IT industry for a little over 23 years. I represent a company called ImageNet Consulting, where we started managed IT services for a little over 2.5 years now. It's become our fastest growing segment of business since they've been a print copy company for the last 60 years. The beauty of what we are asking today is we're asking, how do we make IT simple? It's not just a security question, it's more of a business question. And in doing so, we're asking the Sharks today for $15,000 of investment money to actually invest into our online and print media marketing campaigns. And we have a traveling Making IT Simple roadshow where we go around to all of our different offices and we educate the masses. We teach them everything that they need to know, and very simply. We're also asking, in addition, is not in addition to the money, but to add on to it, $3,000 so that we can get licensing into the end user's hands for customer testimonies. That being said, you know, one of the things that we have to look at today is the questions that our customers are asking. They don't know the answers, and they're asking us, they don't know that question to ask. So it's our job to educate them on how to do that. And today, I'm going to actually help you guys a little bit by seeing something and saying that, what would it be like to tell the future of technology? What if you knew what was going to happen before it was going to happen? What if you didn't have to worry about it? Our products and services have taken IT as a whole and security and baked them all together. We now don't have to go to our customers and ask them, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? We can give them an end solution to the entire game. Our device as a service, our security as a service, our machine self-healing, our backup as a service. All of these are easy to understand models where CEOs don't have to be educated about security. We are giving them the baby at the end of the day. All of our different offerings that we have are very simple in its design. This one here is complete education about enterprise and one-click compliance for HIPAA, where you can actually enroll your devices in it and make all your devices HIPAA compliant right out of the box. The simplicity of our design allows us to employ the anatomy of the security solution that we have in lowering our overall human capital cost by not having to employ so many IT people. It allows customers easier expansion because now their go-to-market strategy is much faster. I have a secure device that just came out of a box, I can get to work. Enables customers to employ the mobile workforce, which that is the direction that most companies are headed. And it also allows quicker return on investment from increased productivity. My favorite quote that I've come up with, and I've Googled the internet to try to find this, is that offer high quality products and services for a price that everybody can afford, and so much value they can't afford not to. That's the whole design around our device and security as a service. That being said, here's what it looks like. An easy to consume model that has all security and services built into it, including hardware. Our secure PC and laptop with security services for $75 a month. Now I've given you a fixed scale of availability to be able to know what your costs are going to be projected over time. Same with our secure firewall. It's hardened from the outside in. You no longer have to worry about threats from the outside anymore. Partnered with our services and solutions that we have on the back end, we have taken this to the nth degree and hardened the entire infrastructure from end to end. We now can help you way before you know that's going to happen and far after when something was supposed to happen. So when we look at this holistically, our revenue goal for the company is to add $50,000 in recurring revenue in our new security offering. How do we do it? Well, we're performing demos to 80% of our customer base. Currently, as we speak, it's actually taking place. The easy-to-consume model has been widely adopted by many of our customers to date and continues to do so. The beauty of how we make money is that we have 35% margins on average. We continue to actually look for that to be our benchmark of success. and we're increasing our net new customers by 30%. Not a lot of growth, but very steady and easy to absorb. And so from that, Sharks, I'd like to welcome you to the future of technology. Simple OpEx pricing, complete end-to-end security offering, the world's most secure PCs, printers, and devices, and our commitment to quality and services.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you,
Great
guys.
job. So we have a few minutes for questions. Who would like to kick it off?
I don't have a question, a comment.
Sure. What do you got, Marv?
Okay. You're very sophisticated.
Thank you.
But for that, just because you have a shiny jacket on, I don't trust you. Is that the weirdest thing? No, I think you have to be very careful how you dress. I could tell it's an expensive jacket. You're a good dresser.
Thank you.
But I think you have to play it conservative when you present.
Totally understood.
Whatever most people find, yeah.
I will give you the story behind this jacket. My daughters bought this for me at Christmas time.
Oh, I love it.
They did. I'm dead serious when I say this. And they said, Dad, we were going to buy you the pants, and I have not
Thank
taken it out
God.
until today. So this is
Good
for my
choice.
daughters today to be on Shark Tank.
Well, then guess what? I apologize.
No, it's quite all right. They would
Awesome.
appreciate the fact that you recognized it. So,
Okay.
very good.
Juan, I thought that was a terrific presentation, so much so I just looked your account up in our Salesforce thing, and why aren't you selling more of our stuff in general anyway?
That's a great question. And so from that perspective, our Making IT Simple events as we go around take a little bit of time to get up to speed, but our device as a service was launched in July. So the full package of this product just barely went to market. And we've just baked in all the security pieces because of what your acquisition with Carver. And so now that's really our model moving forward.
So how
I'm just
fast,
giving you a hard time.
No, it's quite all right.
how fast are you growing right now? You've done a great job focusing on margins, which I appreciate, and staying methodical, but how fast is the business actually growing now?
So from managed IT perspective, we have actually quadrupled in size from year one. We've been in business for 2.5 years, and we continue to quadruple in size on a 6-month basis. We're just growing like madmen. It's quite large growth, and the margins are quite high. And with our new devices service, those prices you saw are baked in at retail cost. So we have extremely high profit margins on the hardware that we're selling, as well as on the software pieces.
I find it hard to believe you've only, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I find it hard to believe you've only been in business, what did you say, 4.5 years?
2.5.
2.5 years, even more remarkable. But what were you doing before? You look to me like you're so comfortable in your shoes, you've been doing this your whole life, really.
So I have also
Selling,
failed
no
like
doubt.
you.
Pardon?
I've also failed like you. When I came to ImageNet as a company, I actually wrote device as a service for the print industry and changed the entire model. And they asked me, how did I figure it out? I gave them the equation. And at that point, they said, you need to help us figure out this IT thing. And I said, I had an IT company in my 20s, was very successful at it. And I've been in industry for a really long time building corporate infrastructure. So as a buyer and as a seller is how I approach my products and services. If I wouldn't buy it, I can't sell it. And so from that perspective, I have failed. My first IT company, bankrupt. So I have failed. And that was one of the main things that the owners liked was that I had failed and that they knew that I had learned from it.
Yes.
So
There's a lot that was really impressive. The thing, because I don't understand the market, is what's actually simpler about it? Because I looked at that page of all the different prices, and I didn't feel simple to me. And so I'm trying to figure out like what's simple in comparison to what else is going on today.
So from the perspective is it's no longer a transactional business, right? So I'm not trying to specifically sell you a piece of hardware anymore. I'm selling you the hardware with all of the services in it for a flat rate pricing model. And so it simplifies the long-term go-to-market strategy from our perspective and also from the end user's perspective, because you don't really want to know everything that's in that. You don't. You want to know how do I get to market? How do I increase my productivity? How do I focus on my bottom line? Our products and services do that for you. We've done all the hard work on the engineering, on combining all the products and services in so that you can buy it out of the box and get to work.
Is it common in your industry to have flat rate, all-inclusive pricing?
No, this is disruptive. This is the
It
first time
sounds
that
like
a lot of
common
people have
sense
seen
to
it.
me, yeah.
A lot of people, this is the first time everybody, and this is education for the whole crowd about the future. And that's why I say welcome to the future, because this is where it's going. We just have figured it out.
Those fees were per seat per month, is that right, that we saw earlier? Just out of curiosity, I was trying to add it up. If somebody went all in, it looked like it could have been about $400
Exactly, that's
a
what-
seat
yeah,
per
exactly.
month. Did I
That's
miss
per
something?
user. Yeah.
Per
So if
So
you
how
were,
much was that a month, would you say? What did you
it's about $400 to $500 a month per user. If they were to take the network infrastructure piece, the devices service piece, which is the laptop, hardware, desktop, they could go all in and know that their fixed cost for that end user to sit in their new facility is $400 flat every month.
Do you have
Full
any-
services with help desk and everything.
Many customers that have taken the whole enchilada?
Absolutely. We have a lot of customers that get rid of their entire infrastructure that day because it's so easy to afford. They don't have to come out of pocket $200,000 to $300,000. They can just spread it over the 3-year term.
How easy is it for you to convert the thinking of your salesperson?
It's difficult because they're so used to speeds and feeds. And I'm having to take, and what I've created with this is I had to give them a box again. I had to give them a new box of services that they could sell because they're used to selling boxes. So I made a size 8 shoe, and in that size 8 shoe box is all these services. And basically, if you could just take that out and go sell that, it sells itself.
You know, years ago, I had, maybe when we had 700, 800 salespeople, I wanted them to sell mortgages. It was a natural. You sell a home, you sell them a mortgage. We had experts in the shop. You know, tried as I might, I tried for years. I never converted their way of thinking. They were selling real estate, and they were selling real estate.
Yeah.
Done. So I think that's a hard mountain to climb.
It is a hard mountain for sure. It does take a lot of effort, but like I said, what I had to do was take it from a services selling standpoint and give them a box again.
Yeah.
And in that box is flat rate services. So literally the product, anybody could take that. And I've done it. I've literally white labeled it and given it to somebody random and said, go talk to somebody and see if you can sell it. They came back with the sale and I said, it works. Let's go. So
I'm still
Thank you,
kind of
Juan.
I'm still kind of wrapped around that all-in piece. It's an amazing $400, $500.
yes.
What is the average seat price if you've baked everything in with what you're realizing in terms of the package services? 100, 200?
You're talking about like the old way of doing it? Or
Well, I guess
this is the new
how
way?
would
What your average
compare
is.
and
What's your
contrast it?
Oh, our customer average for all in right now is right around 150, but that's without any security services that we're offering today. All of the new security and hardware as a service pieces, all of the hardware pieces is now baked into all that, so we have to change the model. So there isn't really a true average from anybody. We're creating that market. So,
Okay. All right, Juan.
thank you.
Nice
Appreciate
job.
you guys.
Appreciate it. Big round of applause for Juan Fernandez. So the Sharks, if you would please go off stage and deliberate.
Okay.
And then while you're doing that, I'm going to do my tap dancing up here. Can I have the contestants back up? Be great. If you could open up your app on your iPhone or your Android and go to the Navigate app, and then there should be a poll that comes right up that allows you to vote for your winner tonight so that we can see how the audience is voting. Let's see where I'm going to start. This is a good group. Juan, I'm just going to start with you because you were just on the scene. So what was the hardest part, Juan, about putting this entire presentation together? What was the most difficult thing?
So I think the hardest part about anything that you do is really dissecting how you do it. And then breaking it down in a mannerism that it's easy for everybody to understand, and then tearing it down again and recreating it and redoing it. And we're all about education, and I'm all about making it simple for people to understand. And so the amount of hours that I took to create it were really what I think was the most difficult thing.
I bet. Everybody up here, I want to tell you for the audience, and I think a lot of you know this, it is incredibly difficult to give a pitch for 5 minutes in front of an intimidating group. I actually was sweating, and I was just the host. I was just standing there watching. I'm like, wow, I'm feeling tense, and it had to be. So how was it? Was it nerve-wracking, Peter? I'll turn it to you. Was it?
It wasn't until I looked down and I had 4.5 minutes to go. I have no idea how that happened. I think I might have gotten shorted, but we'll figure that out later.
Actually, I added
We'll go
time
the
to you,
video.
Peter. I'm going to get in trouble for that. I'm always up with it. No, but Peter, back to you real quick. If you had, in retrospect, now you had a chance to do it, and all you guys did great. I mean, really did. But you had a chance to do it, and as you're presenting, now as you're looking back and looking at everybody else, what would you have done different?
I think that obviously, making sure to be concise enough to get through is key, because the narrative has to be important, and a 5-minute narrative is really tough. And so I think that there's no way to put security into 5 minutes. Like I said, it has to be 10.
It's tough.
No, I think that in this group, there's obviously an understanding, of the basics. But for people who aren't in the industry, to be able to cover an entire industry, what we're doing, how we're getting into it in 5 minutes is nearly impossible.
Very tough, but it's a good example of how an important elevator pitch for your clients to get in the door and be able to get your point across. It's good practice, right? And I'm sure all you guys benefited from this experience and also preparing. I mean, all your preparation was outstanding, just so we know that. I mean, I think round of applause. These guys wasn't that preparation unbelievable? And it was obvious the way you all practiced. I mean, it was incredible to see the practice that you put into it as well. And I know you guys worked really hard, so thank you for that. Eric and Lisa, I'm going to go to you next. So, what was your most challenging moment on stage? What do you think your most challenging moment was?
Just the what?
Yeah, that's
You
one of
liked
them,
that
yeah.
toy, didn't you?
I think that just being prepared you have no idea what questions are going to come our way. So when we prepared this, we knew our numbers, we knew our history, we knew our pitch. It's been tried and true. So we rehearsed, we've presented together before, so we were very comfortable. But you just don't know what Barbara's going to ask. So getting up here
I found that out the hard way.
and all the, but all the stuff, yeah. Who knew the word divorce would come out?
That's right.
In a technology conference.
Definitely drew some parallels there, unfortunately.
So, but I mean, that was the hardest part for us.
Okay. David and Nick. So the capes. First word to capes come from, and I want to let you know, once Nick put the cape on me, all I could think about was, when's the last time I wore a cape? It just kept going in my head. Like, have I wore a cape? Like, when did I wear a cape, So that's all I could think about. But anyways, I really wanted to ask you guys, how'd you feel on stage? Tell me what the moment was like for you, and is there a lesson learned or takeaway you give to the audience about it?
Well, first of all, the capes are the idea and design of our marketing director, who's genius. Her name is Connie. She's sitting right up
Connie.
here. It's funny, Barbara commented on having someone behind us. I forget, well, I know exactly what she said, but I'll leave her words with her. Having somebody behind us waving the capes, and we kind of joked about having little USB fans built into our belt so that the capes would flutter like that. But I think for me, it's just intimidating, right? You see this on TV, you see it on in an entertainment factor, and suddenly you're in it and you're real, and then the questions come.
Right.
The questions were a good lesson of being on your toes. You're talking to executives. I think everybody up here talked about getting in front of CEOs and the CXO, right? And we've got to be ready for the questions that are going to come at us, because these are not nuts and bolts IT buyers. These are executives that want to grow their businesses.
Yeah, it's a great point. I'll just flip it over to Lisa for a minute. What was it like presenting in front of Barbara?
It was the coolest thing ever. Our family is pretty obsessed with Shark Tank, and Barbara for me has always been someone who has always exemplified power and just smarts and focus, and that's how we've been able to grow our business, and with that same focus. And for women, being a minority in the IT world, we really need to have a voice and power and focus. So I really resonated with that.
That's
Go
awesome.
women! #WIT, Women in Tech.
Hashtag, Lisa just said, hashtag women in tech. I love it. That's
right.
awesome.
Go.
So that's great. So how about some other final thoughts? Peter, just, now we're going through the Q&A. What are what's some advice you give to the group out here? You just went through a 5-minute elevator pitch. You said, I didn't have enough time. I probably gave too much detail. You gave us that. What's advice? You grew your business to a big size in a very short period of time. What advice would you give this group?
Being able to tell a story, and I think that was the hardest part, for me in this, is that I get carried away with the story elements of it because I want to connect to people, but realizing that people don't have that much time to listen to us. I mean, the whole point of my presentation was CEOs don't have the attention span for this, but they need to. And it's our job to connect them into that. And that's been one of the big keys for us, is how do we actually spend that time cultivating and being very careful about how succinct we can be in that message and getting those feelings out, but we don't have much to sell without being able to tell a story that people can understand and listen to. And I think that's that's something that we'll take away from it. Also, it's super fun to figure, to look through it and figure out and, try to blend, being memorable and humorous, and, all of those different elements. So I'm sad that I didn't get to show the photo of Mike Potts' face superimposed over Michael's as Michael was jumping on me, but we'll save that for another time.
I have to ask Eric, so when are you moving, when are you getting the apartment in Boston? You need to be here on the ground.
It might be sooner rather than later if Lisa divorces me. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if that's the case, you got to find somebody to split the apartment with.
Absolutely.
So, but, okay, how about anybody from the audience? Any questions for the contestants? Come on, we got to get something. Mark Matthews is out there. You got a good one, Mark? Jeffrey, what do you got? You guys got a good question for me for the contestants? Okay, go ahead. So the question was, Barbara said maybe you two should switch roles,
Right.
and Lisa should be in sales and Eric in marketing. So are you guys considering that?
We're going to have a conversation when we get back to the office and just think about our roles as they stand and what more we can bring to each role, or I don't know, maybe it'll take Lisa short of the road. We'll see.
Absolutely. I'm definitely willing to do that and to get going. I have to put a plug for my amazing wife, Lisa. She really is a creative genius, and she loves marketing, and she really does eat, sleep, and breathe marketing.
Thank you.
And we can get you there with sales too.
So Juan, I will say that when Barbara went down the coat route,
Oh yeah, my jacket.
and I have no idea, it doesn't actually matter whether or not your answer was factual.
Oh, it is.
That was an awesome answer.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Because it completely,
As God
it was
is my-
amazing.
as God is my witness.
No, I
that is
believe you.
100%
But I'm just saying that was
true.
an incredible
My daughters
answer.
will absolutely love the fact that I literally stood up and said, "This is Shark Tank." Right.
I
here.
could vouch for you, Juan. You talked to us about that backstage.
I did,
So
I
we
did,
heard,
yes.
We heard that story before.
Yeah, no, it's
awesome.
It's authentic.
Let's phone a friend. I got my kids on speed dial. They can verify.
All right, so our Sharks are going to return, and we're going to finish up the program. You guys want to come on over here?
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, contestants. Welcome back, Sharks. We're going to go. Can we get you two guys
think you
maybe
were
up
on
here?
again, Peter.
Secure future.
Want us?
We'll go over here. Yeah, be great. You good there, Juan? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. All right, Sharks. So I'm going to turn it over to you to deliver the news.
All right, so number one, we're going to do it in the order of who's getting eliminated. And just let me say, I love this, that this is not my own money.
Oh no.
First up, Peter from Greystone. Step into the limelight.
The tank.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, collectively, we talked, and we think it was great how you educated the market, and I think we in particular, think that your approach to the CEOs was extremely creative, outside the box thinking. But in short, you were too long-winded,
That's fair.
and in running out of time, it was a great disadvantage to you, so we really didn't get it.
Right.
So you're out of here, we're all out.
That's
I think we'll call on David and Nick.
After you, sir.
Okay. I'm not going to say you're boring. Okay.
Again?
No, not again. No, because this is the collective we feedback, okay? And here it comes, okay. You have very big budgets. You're a big company, right? And with so many customers, 36,000 customers, that's what you have. It seemed like you weren't able to really penetrate enough of your existing customers for us to feel confident or credible in your idea. So for that reason alone, and the fact that you're a little boring, we are out.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Nice
you
job.
very much, Barbara. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Matt, Mike, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have Juan and Eric and Lisa. I guess you're going to stand here. And
We
we're
bring
going
them
to
both up at the
bring
same
both up
time.
to the-
Bring them
Very
both up
well.
at the same time.
Okay.
Yep.
So actually, we had good and bad news for each of you. So we'll give you the good and bad news, right? Okay. The good news for you, Eric and Lisa, is We think your approach and the specialization you do is so terrific, and we think it's tremendously successful in Rhode Island. That's a good idea. What we're not totally convinced about is that you could really pull that out here in Boston so readily, because it's a network business. I mean, one guy recommends another, different legal market here. We think that's an Achilles heel, not that it can't be done, okay? So that's what's good, that's what's bad. And for you, Juan, we thought the genius of what you said was the simple price, what did you call it? Simple pricing model.
Correct.
Okay. However, our criticism of that seemed to be, and this is not me because I don't know what the hell they're talking about, is that we felt that your monthly pricing that you showed us on the slide really needed to be broken down as well.
Right.
How much was hardware?
Right.
How much was support service? So you lacked a little credibility. It was hard for us to get our teeth on that. So that's what's wrong with your presentation.
Understood.
Okay, so we're not giving anybody any money.
Ah.
No. So in the final count, we had to really deliberate for hours. And the winner is Juan.
Image,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Juan, congratulations.
Well done.
Close call.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your marriage. Definitely.
Great job.
So let's get a picture, Juan, with you in the middle, with your check for
All right, I'll take the
$15,000
check.
Yeah.
next to Barbara and Mike.
Yep, let's all slide in here. Yeah.
Let's all slide in.
Awesome. Great job.
Exciting photo.
Thank you, guys.
Go put that
pleasure.
money to good use.
We will.
Buy
Go make
yourself
it
a
happen.
jacket.
Buy myself a new jacket. I will. Thank you again.
Well done again.